Thank the stir fry. Shougeki no Soma, chapter 119. I decided to review that because, well, we need to introduce all the Elite 10. Still no idea what this arc is gonna head into, but let's just be thinking. Last week I talked about how we met the Elite 10 but didn't know their names or seats. I did my guess and it turns out I was wrong. Well, the only thing I was right about was the first 6 seats. After that, I did not know. Or was it the first 5 seats? But 7 seats. No, there was the first 7 seats. First of all, the handsome guy with the one who took off the jacket was indeed the first seat. Although I think he stuck out like a sore, well, not a sore thumb, but the way his character was practically screaming first seat. His name is Ishi Tsukaza, and he's a 3rd year. All of the Elite 10 has extremely difficult names. It's gonna be a pain memorizing them. Ishizi is the first seat, and it turns out he's quite a nerve-wrack. Well, then we talk about that later. Then we're introduced to... Then let's go up from 1. The second seat, I thought it was the guy with the sleepy mask, but no, it was the happy-looking girl, proving that many another guy was true. Her name is Rindo Kobayashi, and she is a 3rd year. The sleepy-looking guy is also a 3rd year, but he is the 3rd seat. His name is Fujisuke Megijima. And then it turns out that the girl with the teddy bear is the 4th, Momo Akane Gakubo. She's also 3rd year, despite looking like a token Minimo. And the guy with the samurai sword or delinquent-like hair, he was the 5th seat, Somo Saito. After that, I guessed the rest who was right. All of these 4 or 5 are 3rd seats. The 2nd seat is Nene Kinokuniya. She's the glasses girl, 6th seat. We all know Satoichi Ishinki is the 7th seat. The arrogant, blonde-looking guy that Manny dubbed the Yu-Gi-Oh guy is called Terunori Kuga. The only one who actually has an easy name to remember, Kuga. I mean, you can only just think World Trigger. He's the 8th seat, and Izin is the 9th, and we all know Erina is the 10th. So yeah, that's basically that, in introducing us all to who is who, although it took a very long time. After that, well, we find out that the 1st seat is quite a nervous wrecker. Even though he is the 1st seat, he does not really handle responsibilities much. The Kuga guy, well, he explains to Soma the huge this responsibility, and also I need to go back and watch her name again because I already forgot it. Rindo seems to be interested in Soma because we see a picture of her looking at Soma. Or maybe not Soma, when Kuga explains the thing. I mean, they must have put it in that for some kind of reason. We're finally explained that it's not just that an Elite 10 makes more money than anything. It's that we all know that the Elite 10 technically holds a fraction of the power. They're only 2nd to the headmaster, but it turns out it's even bigger than that. I quote, as long as for cooking, all Toji's budget is at your disposal, which means you can get whatever recipe you want, if you can spend some money at it, any classic recipe, any cutting-edge tools, anything is at your disposal, as long as it's research, anything is allowed. So that means not only can you experiment and bring out a new type of food because you get all this money, but you have to because you are in that league where you can get cutting edge. So basically, an Elite 10 holds the power of everything in their hands, proving that this also shows Erina's ruthlessness in the first chapters. I mean, she basically has shut down a clubhouse just because she didn't like it. This proves that the Elite 10 is the ones that you should not mess with us. Its cooking is everything. And a bit surprised that even though Soma is dedicated to cooking, he feels it's a bit ridiculous. And then the first seat guy. I'm not gonna bother to say his name. I cannot memorize them now. It's that Tolsky give money and power to those willing to dedicate it. Is the Elite 10, and the difference between an Elite 10 and everyone else is like heaven and earth. I mean, that picture is kind of cool. I mean, the only one guy I remember is the Kuga guy. He even leaves them after saying, I don't really consider you worthy answers, so don't go bottom feeders, fight among yourselves. If any of you can surpass me in any one aspect in cooking, then I will oblige. Surpass him in cooking, how? He's basically Kuga has a very short, has a complex about his short height. Well, either way, after that they leave. Everyone's fighting spirits is surging with madness and game. What they're gonna do? Well, where one can only wonder. Megumi doesn't show the fighting spirits, but she is cute. After that, we see that a pretty funny scene. Turns out that since it's so far to get to Polar Star and all that stuff, Soma has gotten a driver's license for a moped, and Tadokoro Megumi is riding a bicycle. The funny thing is, Soma is the one with a helmet, and Megumi is not. I mean, of course, when you're riding a moped, you need to have a helmet more than a bicycle, but still, I thought Megumi was the safe one. Even but even Megumi has a silent fighting spirits. Even though she doesn't want to challenge them in the hate for the danger to be expelled, she is displeased on how the senpais talk to them. Yeah, you go, Megumi. I'm looking forward to this. Finally, we see the only thing I did not understand. And that's apparently something Kuga was talking about. Totsuki's campus festival. Whatever that is, no idea. It's apparently something the Elite 10 has formed. Is that a way for any first year to prove themselves to the Elite 10, or is it just gonna be somewhere where the Elite 10 gonna show off their strength? No idea, but this arc is starting. Okay, what can we say? I mean, the only guy who had basically some character here is the only guy I remember, Kuga. He is an arrogant short stuff guy, but it's obvious he's taking his cooking and the rules and the money and all that stuff here seriously. But and of course the thirst seat is can't remember his name. The fact that he's a nervous wreck. The strange thing is, one day he's a nervous wreck, but then he describes the power difference. He gets extremely serious. The glasses girl, well, she's only a bit cool-headed there. So yeah, all the rest we didn't get any single personality on them. I mean, they were all quiet. But the cat-like girl, the way she looked so interesting at Soma, or at the argument, one can wonder, what does she has in mind? The fact that she's a second seat is actually quite thrilling. Remember that, of course now I forget her name, the Chinese girl who did not like men. She wanted to become the first seat in order to prove that as a woman she should not be looked down upon. So she is but there is a woman who is the second seat, although that's not anything new. I mean, we saw some previous ones who were the second seats. She's dangerously close. But again, she's a third year. And the second year has a stronger thing. The fact that Arena is the only first year in the entire Elite 10 proves indeed she is the most likely one to get to the top in her third year. Which I do not like. I mean, I want to see her humiliating lose, and break the heart or whatever. But we'll see what happens next week. Will I continue reviewing the Soma's chapters? Well, I'll try. I'm not reviewing them anime because it's a bad time for me to review them. But I like this one. We finally got all the names, although again I complain that their names are pretty hard to memorize. I just hope TV Troops write in their names. Give me your thoughts if you have any.